So you think you can do it this time?
I'm going to try. I'm
So,
going to try
so
my
how it
hardest.
works is I press a button, there's music. The music stops, I flick to you or us, and then you talk, okay?
Right. I think I've got this. So one
Yes.
more time, you're going to play music and then we all go home and play games. This episode of Game Face is sponsored by our awesome Patreons. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. We're your hosts, Carl, Lee, and Simone, and we're putting on our Game Face. Lee's sounding a bit deep because he's a bit sick. Simone's looking fantastic as always. And I am the stylish one of the bunch this week. How are you guys doing?
I'm all right.
Better than you, I think.
We're off to a great start.
It's so funny. I'm all right. I've been sick since Wednesday, and now I'm feeling better again.
Do you think you're
Good.
sick because it's cold in your man shed where you record the podcast and you're
I
there
did
like
wonder.
twice a
Actually,
week?
that was wondered, but then everyone else in work has been sick. So
So it doesn't help.
yeah, no.
Mm.
Like boss has been in going, oh no, it's fine. I feel okay. I'm like, yeah, dude, just go home. Oh, I'm
Bosses
really busy.
always do that.
It's such a nightmare. So both bosses have been sick one after another.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I kind of, and that's who I hang out with. So I just got sick off the back of it.
Mhm.
And of course, they don't take any time off. So I'm like, well, I can't take time off because that would make me like a wuss. So I have to sit there and complain.
Yeah, I think they do it on purpose.
Yes,
Yeah.
so do I.
You should just say, no, I'm taking time off. My daughter's sick while you like cough up a lung.
That's, yes. Yes. He was still coughing today. Like, I think I've got through it pretty quickly. He was still coughing and complaining today.
Man.
I think he's a wuss. I think that's the
Yeah,
problem.
maybe he is.
Yes. How are you, Carl?
I'm good. We're out of lockdown from tomorrow, so we're all going to venture off to go get some burgers after work tomorrow night because the government is allowing us out our house
For now.
for now
For now.
until lockdown 6 comes along.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to play another song for that one, aren't we? So we have Mambo number 5, lockdown number 5. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna do the rest of it.
Lockdown number 5. Now we got to do it. Lockdown number 6.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah, we've got to start
Lockdown.
thinking of a song now. But yes, we're going
Yeah.
to see people tomorrow. It's going to be so good. We're going to have forgotten what they look like. They're going to be like, whoa, your hair. And I'm going to be like, whoa, your hair.
No, you say, well, your face. That's what you say.
And I'll be like, well, I mean, I had a new regime when we're in lockdown, a new skincare regime. Can you tell? Is it working?
I
My
think you got a new
face looks
camera.
worse.
You got a new camera, didn't you?
Yeah, new camera.
Yes, he did, actually. I forgot about that.
I'm looking
My
really
face my face is definitely worse after lockdown because first of all, the sun hasn't really been out.
But
when it
Simone,
has-
I don't feel like you're a sun person, though. I don't feel like you're the sort to sit in the sun for hours.
Oh, I adore the
You're a
sun.
bit, you're a
I'm
bit fair for that, I
like a
think.
human lizard.
Yes, exactly.
good. Simone is funny. She loves the sun. She'll sit in front of the sun and out in the sun for ages, but she's terrified of being burnt.
I'm
Ah.
not terrified.
Well, she will sit outside for 10 minutes and then she has to come inside because then she might get sunburnt. And then she'll go outside again half an hour later. It's quite funny.
Yeah, when I'm not in the sun, I'm probably cold. So yes, I'm like a lizard. Simone the salamander.
Simone the Amanda, amazing.
I
Yeah.
don't know whether salamanders do sun though. Aren't they notoriously pink?
No,
Because
because they're cold-blooded.
Ah, yes.
So they have to stay in
Yeah.
the sun and they don't move. They do that weird wiggly thing, don't they?
What? Weird
They
wiggly
do.
thing?
I
They kinda
wiggle
wiggle
all
their
the
bum.
time.
Oh, well, there you go. They do this
But
like kind of floaty wiggly thing, don't they? In this,
Oh, where they lift their stomach off the rock?
yeah, that's right.
And
They
they
have
go
like two
wiggle.
legs and they kind of do this weird kind of.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
Yep.
not completely insane. Thank you, Simone.
I think
Carl's
you
just
you're
guys-
looking
not.
confused.
yeah, I think you guys are completely insane at the moment. Which is amazing.
Maybe. I've not been in lockdown for the last, how many months now is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We have cabin fever. We're losing things. We're
Yeah, when-
losing our minds.
We're losing the ability to think.
Losing things. Brilliant.
Last week's episode, I was forgetting words left, right, and center, and apparently it's a symptom.
Oh, okay. Is it because you're not talking
Forgetting
to
words.
people?
Yeah,
Like lack of
Just-
interaction with humans.
yeah, just not enough going on.
And Carl isn't really classed as a human, so
oh,
Well,
okay
the
then.
thing is, when you've been married a while, sometimes you don't need to remember the name for
Ah,
things. So
yeah,
you
that's
just
right.
say
Just kind of
thingy.
point or grunt.
Yeah. Yeah, and
It's
your
like you
spouse knows
grunt.
exactly what you're talking about. So
That's right.
it's bad in a way.
Oh man, that's amazing. So
Yeah.
everyone just grunts at me.
Mm-hmm. And by everyone, he means me.
Because you are everyone currently, yes.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You're going to go burgers tomorrow?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to go for burgers.
Are you going to share
great.
burgers with other people just to
Yep.
kind of get into it? Yeah, nice.
Well, I mean, the best way to spread
Like for
germs
you,
around
like
is to
for me.
swap burgers.
That's
Yeah.
right. Bite for me, bite for you. Just kind of take turns biting into burgers.
Yeah,
Yes.
have everyone sit in a circle and the burgers just do, have one bite and the burgers shuffle to the right.
It's like a
Funny thing
burger
is,
train.
you should
Yeah.
lick your fingers when you do it as well. Lick your fingers and touch the burger and then pass it
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Just to kind of
always
properly
good.
do it. Yeah.
Like a sushi train that you share. Share
Definitely.
pieces of sushi with each other, but
Yes.
it's burgers.
It'll be great.
It'd be amazing.
And then what you do after that is, your beer bottle, when you have a good beer, you just make sure that you taste the beer from inside the neck with your tongue. And then you pass it on to
Yuck.
the next person.
Okay. No, too much. Enough.
Actually, no, wait, did you take some of the beer into your mouth and then you put it back into the bottle again?
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, how do you think the English invented warm beer?
Oh, yuck.
Oh, dear.
Let's talk about
course.
games.
ABC
Okay, let's talk
beer.
about games. That's so wrong. Okay, cool.
I have 4.
Four.
I have 4.
I have 4
Okay,
too.
good. Good.
I have some.
Will be
Lee
sweet.
has some. Lee has the best one, I think.
No, exactly. I just need one, really, don't I?
Yes, you do. So, who wants to kick us off?
Well, we'll start with a small, uninteresting story in that Kyle and I jumped into Sea of Thieves this week.
Ah, yes, to complete your single player mode thingy.
No, we didn't actually. We just decided to swim around.
Swim.
Swim. We defeated a megalodon. We didn't get accosted by anyone really, except in the early days when we weren't carrying anything.
Yeah, we went off to an island and they came up next to us, dropped anchor, and sank our ship.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that was fine because we weren't carrying anything. We were on a voyage that I accidentally found out was like a tall tale kind of voyage, the one with the ashen key.
Ah, yes.
Which was an accident. And then we decided, we're going to ignore that. And so we just wandered around the island picking up shiny things. And then we handed them in to the outpost and went home.
It was great fun.
Sounds incredible.
So, did you know in Sea of Thieves there's now mermaids?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, don't they rescue you when you fall in the water?
No.
They're evil mermaids.
These are the bad type of mermaids. These are the ones that when you're swimming in the open ocean, they come up and they accost you.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I like the idea of that. In folklore, mermaids traditionally were kind of like not always good guys. So I think the classic example is in Peter Pan, where mermaids will drown you.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. But I think mermaids in more modern times have become these sweet, innocent things. So I quite like that they're not good guys in Sea of Thieves. I really
They're
like
not all
that.
like Ariel then, is that what you're saying?
Well, they're Ariel on a bad day.
Okay.
And there's a gang of them that swim up to your ship and they start attacking you. And even when you're out of the ship, they're still throwing stuff at your ship.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
they
no.
get very angry about you being in the ocean.
Do they want something? Like
I
fish?
don't know.
Or
Maybe we-
forks or something?
I wonder if we tried to fish, whether we could have caught a mermaid.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Could
What
have
do
like a slave, a mermaid slave.
Well, I mean, just get them to flop about on the deck and then get someone to play music and everyone dances around while the mermaid's flopping about, like a...
No wonder they're trying to kill you.
Yeah. It does beg the question that what is up with the mermaid that saves you then and puts you back on your ship? What's the difference between the good ones and the bad ones?
Is it a man?
Yeah, maybe he's a merman.
True. So
They're
the
always a bit
mermen are
friendly.
okay.
Yeah, the women are dodgy.
Because I only got a very brief glimpse of the bad mermaids, and they shine in a different way.
Mm,
They kind of shine like emeralds, whereas
Yeah.
the merman kind of glows.
mm.
Maybe they're two different species.
Oh, maybe. They could be.
I feel like one's more like a ghost mermaid. It's almost like see-through almost in its colouring. It's quite bluey, isn't it?
Yeah, he is
Could
kind of
be.
bluey. And he guides you back to your ship.
Could be. So yeah, so that was my first story. Played a bit of Sea of Thieves and actually didn't get murdered.
They
They did jump onto our ship, I think, at one stage. But we
Yeah,
managed to.
because after they sunk our first ship, we were sailing along and we saw them in the distance. And so we were like, hey, we've got nothing on our ship. Let's go give these guys a bit of a fight. So we followed them. And we managed to. They do the thing where they sail the ship and then they jump off. So when you're busy sailing, they can grab onto your ship and then they come on board and they set it on fire. And then they just catch a merman back to their ship.
Oh yeah.
But
It's very.
we
clever.
managed to repel them and shoot
We did.
them. It was great fun.
I found because I used to use the sniper a lot, and that would be my main gun. But when we went through the first chapter of the Pirates of the Caribbean Tall Tale, I changed my gun to like a shotgun, and it turns out that that's way more effective when people board your ship.
Ah, nice close quarters. Yep.
Definitely, so that's worked out quite well. But there's new enemies now on islands, but they kind of glowed, but that might have been to do with the Ashen Key quest rather than normal.
Yeah.
They looked like
Normal?
I don't know. I don't play Pirates of the Caribbean often enough.
No, all Sea of Thieves.
Sorry. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
it's the skeletons that are on fire. They're the ones that are for the Ashen Key. They're in the Devil's Rawn name mostly.
Oh no, I was meaning the big glowy guys.
Which are the big glowy guys?
He's a big dude and he has a mace kind of thing or massive log and he just whacks it on the ground.
Ah, yeah, those are the Pirates Life guys.
I thought so, but we weren't doing Pirates Life stuff.
I think they just pop up now wherever.
Okay, and there were ghosts around.
Hmm.
Okay.
But it's cool. We found a scepter on the sea floor that has 20 shots.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Ooh.
this magic scepter that just shoots. So we all, like, I picked it up. I was shooting around with it. Oh, this is great fun. Dropped it on the deck of the ship. Simone picks it up. She has a bit of a shoot. Drop it down. Lee picks it up and he starts having a shoot. He goes, oh, it's only got 20 shots. And so he shoots the last one up into the air.
The
Oh,
last
so-
shot was an accident.
So good.
But yeah, he Googled it to find out that it was finite.
It was really fun.
So you can't reload it or do anything to it then?
No, it just disappears after 20 shots.
You can charge it. So the longer you keep down the charge button, the bigger the charge. And I think there's 3
Oh, you
levels
more
of
power in the
charge.
shot or something. Okay.
Yeah.
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 And it just travels forever. It's really cool.
Yeah, you shoot it into the ocean and it just keeps going.
Oh, wow.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So yeah. No, Sea of
That's
Thieves
very
is
good.
good. There's a lot of stuff. And it reminds me, I remember having saying something about the seasons in Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk about that because it's super annoying. You have to go into the menu to turn off the season notifications when you're busy playing.
What is it? You mean seasons as in like when they do with Battle Royale stuff?
Yeah,
That
so
sort of
like
thing.
you
Okay.
get 20 kills, here's a new shiny skin, you get
Yeah,
40
yeah.
kills, here's a
Hat.
new hat, things like that. But
Mhm.
as you're busy sailing around, you're constantly getting notifications of you've unlocked this commendation for sailing 5 miles, you've done this, you've hoisted the sails 20 times, here's this thing. And if you don't turn off the notifications, it completely takes you out of the immersiveness of Sea of Thieves.
Ah.
The season stuff that they've done, in my opinion, has not ruined the game in a way, but definitely has detracted from the experience.
I agree. But the problem is all these new people that are starting Sea of Thieves disagree. They're more into the game now. But I think it's because it's become,
Fortnite
I don't know.
on water.
yeah, it's become like every other game now.
Yeah. Which is a pity because Sea of Thieves is always good at being Sea of Thieves
Mm-hmm.
and doing its own thing. And the season stuff just doesn't fit. It just does. No matter what they can do, I don't see how they could make it fit.
Yeah.
I guess they were trying to make it more of a live game, weren't they? That's the idea.
I mean, you jump on and it's a live game. There's live people trying to kill you.
No,
So-
but I mean like new content all the time is what they're trying to do.
And there's expansions and there's, like DLC and things like that they could do. There's
Full
stuff in the
titles.
store, like you can buy dogs and stuff in the store if they wanted microtransactions. The season stuff really has detracted from the experience, I think. And in my mind, it's probably the reason why I'm not super keen to jump into Sea of Thieves by myself to just go sailing, because it's no longer this awesome experience of just chilling out and doing your thing, you end up just, having to a checkbox of like, oh, if I sail 500 miles, I get a new hat. If I sail to this island, I'll end up with a cool new sword. You know?
Yeah.
It's busy work. It's not anything exciting.
Yep.
So in the settings for Sea of Thieves, go down and actually turn off the notifications for the season stuff. And then you just end up with these random rewards that pop up in your inventory or your chests every so often. And you can safely kind of ignore it in a way. But until you turn off those notifications, it's so bad. I mean, we were on the ocean for 3 minutes before we got like just notification. You've unlocked this. You've unlocked this. You've unlocked this. And I'm going,
Well, I didn't.
because you had the notifications turned off, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't do it. So I don't know. I don't know whether you fiddled and accidentally turned it on or what happened. But I didn't turn mine off.
Never fiddles with stuff and never touches things once he's set it all up.
The only thing I can think of is that maybe the notifications were on, and if you jumped on, they were staying on. But if you jumped on after a bunch of player feedback, the default now is off.
Oh, okay.
Could be.
Yeah, I still feel like you fiddled.
I didn't fiddle anything. I don't touch things. But I did
No, of
notice.
course you don't.
I did notice in the settings there's now a Series X option to run the game at 120 hertz.
Ooh.
So I got to give that a bash at some point.
Yeah, right. Nice.
See what's changed, what's new. So that's my little rant about Sea of Thieves and seasons. What do
I
you
haven't jumped
play,
into it. I haven't played Sea of Thieves for ages.
Oh,
I've got any
man.
friends.
We must jump in sometime. It's great.
I feel like I should, definitely. I can do a little game. I played Wreck Fest.
Yes. How is Wreckfest
cool.
going?
I do like it. It's kind of relaxing. You know Forza, some days in Forza where you just jump in and you just do some driving around.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Because
Awesome.
I've got so many races to do, you kind of just mess around,
Yep.
do
Mhm.
some races, upgrade my cars, you know, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's just chilling. It's just chill. I
Okay.
didn't know what to play, you see, so I was kind of just thinking, don't want to get into anything too serious, and then I'm playing that.
So by just chill, you mean drive cars into other cars until they explode?
It depends. You can do different types of games as well. So you can do like racing games, or you can do ones where you drive into people.
Huh. Okay.
Like I was driving a Robin Reliance around into other Robin Reliance.
That sounds
That was
incredible.
cool. Yes, and there was buses in there. The buses are really hard to get rid of. There's like two massive like American school buses, and all these little Robin Reliance driving around. And I think I had to get like 3 kills or 3 knockouts. And you know, I don't remember last time what I said was you have to drive around and you can't kill yourself if you die. I thought if you die, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you trash your car, you're out. But no, you just respawn again.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
But- oh, okay. So I just drove into cars, respawned, and then drove into more cars and came second, even after the respawn. So because the idea is if you kill people and then you die, you kind of get like a 3 for how many you've got rid of and 1 for when you die, like 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that one had 3-0 and I had 3-1 because I died once when I was doing it.
Yep.
I came second. I was like, oh, okay, so this makes more sense now. But because all I was doing was drive around in reverse. Robin Reliance are really hard to drive in reverse. Like you turn and it just kind of rolls over. Like it just doesn't really do turning backwards.
Don't rely on Robins, just roll over anyway.
Yes, but in reverse they're worse. Yeah.
That is amazing. I don't think the car could be any worse than it currently is.
No, it doesn't really like doing reverse and turning corners. It doesn't turn corners, basically. That's the issue. It just
So-
crashes.
How do you get rid of buses?
You avoid them. The Robin line is never going to destroy a bus. You just have
Okay.
to avoid them. Yeah. I want
Is
to be
it-
the bus, though. That sounds like quite good fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Is it actually possible to?
We
get
were
rid of the
damaging
bus?
it. Like the buses
Yep.
were being damaged. But I think if you were playing like 20 people against the bus, you would get
Yep.
rid of it in the end. But me
Okay.
going randomly into it accidentally and doing a small bit of damage, I'm doing more damage to myself than I am to the bus, is the issue.
Oh,
Mhm.
fair enough. You are a reliant
Yeah.
Robin driving into a bus.
I am a Royal Light Robin, yes. I discovered all the updates as well. So I got to level 10, which was cool. So it gives you more updates. You can kind of put like stronger bits on your car and
Oh,
bigger
yeah.
engine bits and more tire bits and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did discover that I'm playing on easy mode or normal, and I'm kind of winning quite easily. Maybe amateur. I was like on amateur, and I'm winning quite easily. So I just got one level. As soon as I did that, I do the same race like 4 times to come first. I was like, oh, this is like, it's easy, really easy. I win by far, or I lose, or come third or fourth. Like, there's no, it's too hard. Like, the levels are wrong.
Huh,
Well,
so-
what, coming third or fourth after coming first on the easier level? That sounds about right.
But I only went up one level, and I was winning by lots. Like, it wasn't
Oh.
just first, it was first by a length or 5.
Oh.
Like, it was
Oh, yeah.
easily going past everyone. So as soon as I bumped it up on one level, I was then struggling to keep up.
Mm.
And there's no reverse. So as soon as you crash, you crash. Like, there's no. In easy, you can kind of, you're fast enough to catch up and get into the front again.
Ah,
In
yes,
hard mode, or in normal
band.
mode, if you crash, then you're stuffed. Basically, you're not going to get there. You might as well restart.
Man.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a mistake. So I decided to just put it back to easy again.
Well, if you're winning, you're winning.
You're
I'll
winning, you
give
win
that-
exactly. But you get bonuses, like if you have to come first in some of the races. So I couldn't just get away with coming second. I had to actually come first to get past or get the bonus point and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, okay.
It's
Very
fun.
cool.
It is fun. And the graphics are reasonable. They're okay. And the kind of destruction to your car is quite good fun. And if you crash into someone too much, they become your enemy and they come after you, which I think is quite cool. But you get
Oh,
more
it's just like
points.
real life.
It's just like real life, yeah. And it just says like this R next to him. What is it called? I can't remember. It's called Rival. It's a rival. That's what his little
Oh,
R next
yeah.
to him.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if you decide to kill somebody too much or they drive into you and they don't like it, they become a rival. But he's worth more points when you crash into them.
Ah, okay.
So you can
that
kind of
makes
go,
sense.
yeah, I can go for you and it'll be fun.
So, our friend Spirited Sojourn, her husband, whose gamer tag is Tiring War,
Okay.
he loves this game.
Yep.
I think he has almost 100%ed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He plays this all the time.
I can understand. It's cool. It is fun. Yeah. Especially when
There's-
I'm watching a video of him just tagging somebody as they go around the corner and watch
Yeah.
them slowly spin out. It's actually quite funny. You just kind of
So-
drive
so-
into them and just lean on them a little bit and they kind of just disappear off.
Great. Reminds me of not Need for Speed, Burnout Takedown.
A burnout.
Like
Oh,
that.
burnout takedown. Is that sort of trying to knock people out, is it?
Yes, but they make a, when you knock them out properly, they make a pop kind of noise. They like pop out and
Hmm.
then disappear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
one of the
out of
effective-
existence. Really. It's kind of
I don't know.
Thanos sort of style.
They've done the noise very effectively. So one of the most effective methods is to grind them on the side of a wall or
Oh,
something.
nice.
And you know when you've done it enough, when you hear a mechanical pop noise and all of a sudden they just fly behind you. Done very well.
That's
very
I
awesome.
haven't played that one. I saw a video today of Need for Speed 2
Oh yeah.
and someone reviewed Need for Speed 2. Underground, Need for Speed Underground 2,
Oh,
whatever
cool.
it's called.
Yep.
What is Need for Speed Underground 2? That's what it's called.
Yes.
He said it's really good still. Like, it's a really good game, and the open world is big enough, and there's enough races, and the handling is exactly what you want for an arcade, and there's loads of stuff you can do to it, and the cars look cool. So, that game,
It was
still
a
stands
perfect
up.
racing game.
16 years later, it still stands up as a good racing car game.
That's awesome.
So
I forgot it was open
apart from the Lego DLC, it is open world, yeah. Apart from the Lego DLC for Forza Horizon 4, I don't plan on playing another racing game ever, unless there is a remaster for Underground 2.
Yeah, you can get plugins for it, so you can get like a graphics boost, and you can get like a widescreen boost and stuff for it.
Oh, cool.
There's what do you call them? Mods you can get.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked
neat.
fine. Like, the video was actually in our Discord. I think
Oh, yeah.
Gary shared it in there. I was watching it going, this doesn't look that bad. Like, for a 16-year-old game, it looks
Mm.
great.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's it. Play Wreckfest. It's fun. It's just fun to drive around and smash into people. I would like to play multiplayer and just to pick on somebody, Kyle.
Oh yeah. Need to find some space on my Xbox to download Riskfest.
Oh, really? I'm okay. I've got my nice little expandable drive on there. It's done quite well.
So you just
Nice.
plug it in and away you go.
Yeah, it was awesome. Plugged it in and said, this is where I want to install things. And then that was it. And it installs.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's so quiet on my computer because I unplugged my spindle drive as well.
Oh,
My
nice.
4 terabyte drive, I unplugged it. So the Xbox is now silent and has like 2.5 terabytes of storage on it. So
Cool.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What have you been playing, Kyle?
Well, on Saturday, I jumped into Rocket League with Perky Turkey for a bit. We had some beers in Rocket League, and we were actually really good, I must say.
Yeah?
Mhm.
We had this
Everyone's like,
thing
yeah.
with
Uh-huh.
each time he scored, he was going to take a shot, and he ended up the night worse for wear. So we were doing very well. There's this awesome new mode that's part of, they call them Rocket Labs or something like that, which are like experimental sort of arenas. And this one was, there's a hole in the back at the center, and you have to bounce the ball into the hole, kind of like almost like a snooker table, like pool table, except there's just two holes as the goals. But it's possible if you hit the ball too hard that it just flies over the hole
Over it. Yep.
into the back, and then people can get out of there. So it's quite tricky, but really fun. Because we discovered if you're the car and you sit in the middle of the hole as your goalie, if you sit there, more often than not, people will knock the ball at you, and you'll just jump up and knock it out and get like excellent save and amazing saves, and just it's a great way to sort of be lazy and look like you're doing lots of good work at the same time.
So is it easier than the hoops?
Oh,
Good.
so much
That hoops
easier.
is hard though.
That hoops is hard. We did play hoops. We won 3 games out of our 3 games. So,
Very nice.
very cool. There's so much stuff that they've added to Rocket League now. It's insane. It's Epic buying them, I think, was a really good move because they have just turned it into this proper sort of esports. It's not ashamed of what it is. It's just microtransaction hell, just esports to the max. Get a pink car with some purple wheels, and away you go.
Yeah.
And you know, the shiniest car is the best car. So you don't need to worry about what car does what. You just have a look at someone who constantly gets mid-air goals in their bright pink purple car. And you go, right, that's the best car to have, clearly, because this car is like level 3 million.
That stuff's just cosmetic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all cosmetic.
Right.
But certain cars go faster or slower depending. Like I noticed the Batmobile can't hit the ball really well because it's so low. The ball tends to roll over it,
Goes
so
over
you've got to
top, right?
really jump with the Batmobile. The Gears of War car, the big one that they have,
Yep.
that's really good for hitting the ball if you can hit it straight on. But if you try to hit it in any other way, it's just too big and slow for the ball to move in a way.
Oh, cool.
So the cars do have a little bit of difference with them, but it is basically if you can fly through the air and score a goal, you're like the awesomest awesome person ever. And luckily we had that guy on our team. The guy we had on our team was so good. Lee was sending him messages asking him to marry him.
Yes. This is Lee when he's had a few.
Yeah, on the public chat. So not even like a private Xbox message or anything, just the public chat. He's like, he first sent him a message saying, how do you say your name? Because this guy was like hippopotamus or something, but all different weird spellings. And then the guy didn't reply. And then he scored a goal. And Lee was like, oh my word, you're really good. And then the guy got 4 hat tricks.
Wow.
What? Oh, so you were carried then, basically.
Oh no, you were completely carried. We literally, each time we got the ball, he would arrive next to us somehow, knock us out the way, and score a goal, no matter which direction we were going or what we were doing with the ball. He was kind of like, move.
Just let me do this. Get out of the way.
So it was kind of like a 4 versus 1 because there was another person on our team at that stage.
Oh, really?
So yeah, he carried 3 of us against 4 other people, which is really good.
Was it on PC, do you reckon?
Maybe. We tried to turn that setting off so that we only played with console people, but
Oh, yeah.
he could have been. Good question,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, I just wondered because the controls might be slightly easier on PC.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the controller is nicer because PC is like, what do all the keyboard buttons do? And you don't have enough fingers, and then you have to use your mouse as well. Seems like there's a lot going on, whereas with the controller, it's all in your hand.
Yeah. Although easier to type marry me with a keyboard.
It's true.
Yeah. Lee almost let a goal in because he was busy sending that message. You can tell when he starts typing because his car just stops in the middle of the
Stops.
field and it just does nothing. And he types.
Wow.
And you have to be quick because Rocket League now detects if you're not doing anything and it kicks you off after a certain time. It just kicks you out of the match
Good on
if you're idle.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose it's good for those people that were just joining games just to get experience. So just
Yeah,
join
but
game
what
and
about
just
people
sit.
that are into Young Love? Seems to go against that.
Into what? What?
It's bad sportsmanship, Lee.
Yeah, young love. You know, people like Lee who are in love, they want to send messages. It goes against it, doesn't it?
Oh wow, that took forever for me to
I
get.
know. Why are you so slow?
Are you having a rough night?
Maybe.
Weird.
So
Probably because
yes,
you haven't had dinner.
probably. And I've got a thing on my head. It's making me feel weird and really warm. Can you tell?
It's overheating your brain. Yes, I can tell.
So yes, Rocket League, great fun. Awesome game to just pick up and play.
I have another uninteresting story.
Excellent.
yes.
You bring it on. You're really selling it today.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I'm
Simone
starting off
sounds-
with the
Never
stories
an
and
interesting
games.
story.
I know, and then ramp it up. Just like they do on Channel 7
Ah.
News.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's right. This is just like Channel 7 News.
Exactly. But for games, so it's way better and less. It's like the opposite of depressing.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so Kyle and I jumped into Anthem on the weekend in
Anthem,
between
yep.
watching the Olympics. And yeah, I've managed to unlock my third javelin now, and I've picked the Ranger. So my main
That's
dude
my-
is an interceptor. Oh,
Sorry,
you're a
that's
Ranger.
My Ranger is my one of choice, yes.
Very cool.
He's really cool.
He is quite neat. It's hard going. I mean, he's a level 1 nothing. So it's
Yeah,
hard
that
to go
hurts.
from a good javelin to something new. But I like him better than the Colossus so far.
Yeah, I started with Colossus and found Colossus was useless. I think you have to be really high level with Colossus
Hmm.
because you play
Yeah.
him in the middle of stuff. So if you're not very strong, you die.
Yeah, which is frustrating because you're coming in as a tank.
Yeah, that's right. So you're like,
So-
right, jump in the middle and just shoot things. And then
Yeah.
you don't really do very well.
Exactly. And I find him slow.
Yeah. Well, that's fine if he's got heavy armor and he's got his shield he runs around with, which is quite cool. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, not quite.
He's made to be in the middle and not do anything except get people to attack him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
literally has skills for saying, come and hit me.
Yep.
And then I will die.
basically. So do you remember what kind of powers, abilities you've got going on for your Ranger?
Oh, yeah. I have the long distance rocket one, which
Oh, yep.
is quite handy, which is like a carpet bomb almost.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Which is really handy when there's lots of them. So you just chuck it in like a big area. And then I think I have like a rocket, which is more heat seeking, which I use on the big guys, like the, I can't remember the guys with the shields. So I try and use it on those. I think that was two I had.
yes.
And I had a quite a cool, was like an automatic sniper rifle. And I had one that does electricity, which fires electricity at people, which is quite
Very
good.
nice.
Yeah,
It's good for crowd control.
pretty cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I played on my own all the time.
Yep.
I had to do area effects, area damage.
We're probably further along than you now. We jumped into
Yeah,
free play for the first time as
Oh, yeah.
well. So we haven't done any of those tombs that you mentioned, but they were there around. They were around.
I can jump in if you're about. I'll jump in with you.
Oh yeah, totally.
Warm
I
up
think
my
we
javelin
were.
again.
What day did we? We played on a Saturday. I don't think you
What
were
level
online.
my javelin is actually?
Kyle just got the achievement for
Being an epic person.
yeah, every gear item is epic.
So my storm guy is sitting on what 400 and something power. I thought that's pretty good. I'm
Because you
impressed.
just played it, haven't you? So I should be able to get to my.
At least-
You just
Yeah.
played it. I'm just going through the Xbox app to see if I can find my Anthem stuffs.
Oh, do they have the stuff in Anthem?
Maybe
Like all the stats.
we're about to find out.
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah. I doubt
So my-
anything's happening with Anthem.
My main is the interceptor, and he's very melee, and does his melee attacks very quickly. So
You're so far behind me. So I've got 605 out of 1,000.
oh really?
Yeah. And you've got 180, Kyle.
Yes, catching
I
up.
played 2 days, 15 hours. You've played 22 hours.
Man, okay.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, okay, I take that back. You are the master.
Wow. I've spent more time. I don't know the power of my javelin, though, which is really annoying. It doesn't give me that. It just tells me how long I've played for.
Hmm. Have you done quite a lot of free play?
Yeah. Because that's where you get all the shoot shotgun 20 times stuff like that.
Right. Yes.
I've completed 3 sniper rifle challenges. I've completed 12 ranger gear challenges.
Cool.
Marksman rifle, assault rifle. Yeah, because then you get all the points for helping out the freelancer loyalty and Arcanist loyalty and that sort of stuff.
What does that stuff give you?
Not a lot really. It's just like getting points. You say do stuff for them, and they go, "Oh, thank you very much," and they give you points, and then you get an achievement at the end of it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
okay.
it's like RPG-ish.
Yeah. There's some very strange RPG stuff in the game, and then it goes to shoot things with this big gun.
Mm,
That's yes,
yes.
yes, that is the game. Yes.
Very much. But yeah, Anthem is it's got so much, it has so much potential, you know. It's quite sad that it's not doing anything with it. It still looks really pretty.
It was very interesting in the video that you were showing on the stream. That particular player,
Oh, has it disappeared?
it has disappeared.
Sorry about that.
He spends a lot of time on the ground shooting, and I don't do that a lot. I fly as much as I can. It's just too much fun. And I mean, you're playing Anthem. What other game allows you to fly like that?
Yeah.
Especially when you get some water and you can fly around next to the water and keep yourself cool.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yep.
You've played 20 hours, Simone, and you've got 165 out of 100,000.
So what, am I above Kyle?
You're 2 hours behind and 15 points behind.
Ooh, okay. Twinsies.
Please.
Close.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Well, let's keep doing that.
There.
Awesome.
No, that's all. I think it was just one session of Anthem. Although we played with our lockdown buddy. And by that I mean virtual buddy.
Yeah. Which was
Convinced him to get his Xbox out of storage because he'd just recently moved. And
Dusted off his
convince him-
Xbox.
and then convince him to buy Anthem. Which he did, so that was good.
It's like $6, isn't it?
Pretty cheap.
yeah, price of
It's
a cup
really
of
cheap.
coffee.
It's
You
so
get it-
much game for $6 as well.
Yeah, exactly. And if you get it pre-owned at EB Games, I think it's $3.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yep.
Man, that's amazing.
Incredible.
Is it on Game Pass? It's on EA. Oh, is it on EA Play, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's how he's playing it.
Yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. This guy says on the deck the whole time, doesn't he?
It's really
just
weird.
runs
He's
from
playing
area
it like
to area.
Destiny.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
the whole point of
mate.
Anthem is flying.
Wow, you're
Exactly.
flying. Yes. Oh, that's cool.
And he's only shooting as well. He's okay. I was going to say he's hardly using any of his abilities.
Which is what? Isn't that what this guy's for? This
Yeah, exactly. He's melee
This-
all the way.
this
and
jabbing guy.
He has some great throwing magic things. Now, in
Magic
fairness,
things.
this is his super, so that doesn't quite count. But yeah. So yes, Anthem things. And story-wise, there's some interesting things going on. I don't know. Well, it's true. There's a guy that is posing as a freelancer that we helped out in a previous storyline. And now we're thinking, oh yeah, he's actually a bad guy.
Hmm.
And it was funny to think back
Oh,
to
that's
that
right. The young
mission.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny to think back to that mission that we'd done because we had to do it twice. So I actually remembered that mission. And just
You have to
think back
save his
and-
life, don't you? Or something? One of the first missions you do.
His
You have to fix a Strata.
his Strider.
Is that what you're doing? Is it? Oh.
Yeah. Actually, the video that I put on my Instagram was the video that I put on the Xbox Cast's Instagram was actually from that mission.
Ah, yes.
So yes.
When you're trying to fly through hoops and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I was trying to be an acrobat.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Kyle could. I bet Kyle did something fancy. I bet I could do that too. I bet I could do it better. Yes,
Ah,
humbled.
It's a cool game. I do like that game a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty fun with friends, lots of stuff to shoot with. But we were just saying on the weekend, you know, every mission is the same. You go here, they talk to you. You go to area 2, they talk to you. You go to area 3, they talk to you, boss. And then you go back to the end. Then they say, come back, we can't do anything more. It
Yep.
doesn't flow. It's not like Destiny where it's like, mission orbit. You know, it's mission. Go back to the what's it? The Citadel
base.
thing.
Yeah.
Go back to base. Chat to this guy, and then walk around really slowly around the base.
No, you're right. So you get there, and then you have to walk from one side of the base to the other, talk to someone. Then you have to walk to the other side of the base, talk to somebody else. Then you have to walk to somewhere else. Beforehand, you couldn't start missions unless you went right back to the beginning again.
Oh wow!
So there was no way of starting missions from the actual, like, just hitting a button.
That's
So you
amazing.
get this mission, you're like, oh, cool. Oh, I've got to walk all the way over to my javelin to go and start the mission.
You know, there's realism and RPG-ness that happens, and then they should just suspend some bits for like gameplay.
When you pick up a weapon, you have to wait for the mission to finish. Then you get all your weapons. Then you go to the armory. Then you sort out your guy, and then you get from the armory to the next guy to have a chat with him. And then you walk all the way back to your javelin still on the mission. That's how I played it when I first started. So I was just walking around the whole time, and that's what people were saying was slow because you're constantly loading to get into the armory, loading to get into the mission, loading to go and talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
But the SSD saved me that game. An SSD saved me for that game.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's a bit better now, but still, the missions are very not like staccato in a way. Just it's a mission that you know what's going to happen and what can end.
There are some interesting characters though, because I remember that woman. I can't remember her name now, but she was always talking about that soap that she's watching. I thought she was quite funny.
Is she the one that really likes animals?
No.
Yeah, she's got short hair, short dark hair.
Short dark hair. We might
Is that
not
right?
have met her.
She was in the end. She moves and she ends up being at the very back of the Citadel area, up some stairs around the corner.
Oh no, we haven't. I don't think we've met her yet, or we've just ignored her.
Well, she gives you missions to do stuff around. She thinks you're awesome.
No, we talk to the person who is at the shop as you come out your javelin, and she's always collecting animals, and the animals are, eating her uncle's arm. And,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, that's someone else. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
She's
she's like a kid or something, isn't she? Almost.
Oh, hang on. Soap operas. There's a very socially awkward Asian lady up.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's
She's
her
always quite
name?
fun.
She's interesting.
Rin?
God, I can't remember. It's so long ago since I played
Something
it.
like that.
Yeah. Well, she's quite funny because there's always a conversation about. She always gives you missions to do, which are kind of awkwardly gives you a mission, and she's really impressed when you do the mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she starts telling you about the soap opera.
Amazing.
Okay, she hasn't started talking to us about soap opera. We're not at that level of friendship yet.
Wow, come on, you got to make friends with these people.
But what I do like is when she is slightly impressed that you did the mission so well, it's she doesn't want to admit that you did it well. So quite often your character goes, "Was that a compliment?" And she goes, "No."
And the one mission we did with her was quite funny because there's scars all around, and she's in your comms and she's yelling at them, "No, stay away, go back." And your guy that you're playing with, he goes, "I'm sure if they could hear you, they'd be pretty scared. But thanks for the enthusiasm. You're just yelling at me in my ears."
And again, Kyle's character is so sweet to her, and mine's just sarcastic at her.
Is it you're the guy?
I'm the dude, yeah.
Yeah, the guy's nice. He's nice to everyone.
He's really nice.
Have you come across the guys with their shop? The two gay guys?
No.
Oh my God.
There's a so when you leave your javelin, on the left you've got the girl that likes animals, but if you keep walking, there's a solo guy. I think he's black. There's a solo guy on the right and he sells stuff.
Yes, correct.
And he's really cool. He likes javelins, but that's not the person you're talking about?
No, if you go through the doors, there's doors at the very back. As you walk through the first section, there's big doors that open. And on the left-hand side, there's like there's a fountain area. A fountain in front of you, a bit of water.
Yeah, fountain.
And to the left-hand side there, up the stairs, there's a guy up there.
Okay, I don't think we've
What
met
have
him.
you two been doing in this game?
We've been shooting things.
I've chatted to everyone. There's a guy that's really like the town gossiper.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The redhead.
It's quite funny because he kind of is just, because he gets threatening him all the time. Even Carl's character just threatens him the whole time.
Carl can't stand him.
Yeah, that's right.
I see him and I just walk past him and I'm never going to talk to him again because he's so annoying. He's like, "Oh, did you hear?" It's like, "No, I don't care. I want to shoot things in the face. I don't care about this your idle gossip tracks from my master plan."
Yes.
You've got to talk to everybody. The whole game is about talking to people and then getting a mission to go and do something else.
I just want to shoot things in the face and fly an awesome Iron Man suit.
Yes. You need to talk to the people, the gay guys, because they need some help with their shop.
Okay. They
There's
haven't
also
appeared for us yet.
in the downstairs in the bar area. There's a whole bunch of people in there. Different people keep appearing and talk to in there as well. Like they help the woman out who owns the place.
Yeah.
I've
Helps her
helped
out,
her
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying
Does
to
the
remember.
areas change as time goes on? And you
People
go through
move
the story?
around. Yeah, people move around.
No,
The area
the
doesn't
actual.
change. No, I don't think so. No, I think the area stays the same. It's just people move around.
Because
Well,
there's
I think
one
the-
guy.
Bar changes quite a lot. Well, the people in the bar change quite a lot.
Yeah, I've noticed the people change, but there's one guy. He is the contract giver. He's the quest that we're on at the moment with this rogue, this outlaw that stole a suit. And Kyle's convinced that his area is changing and that there's more candles and more drawings on the wall every time we go in.
Is that the circular room? Is it?
That's the
The,
Russian dude, the bald Russian dude that gives you contracts that you talked about, freelancer digs.
Freelancer Diggs is the dodgy one.
Yeah. And-
He's got tattoos and a beard. Does it ring a bell?
No, this
that's
is long
fine.
time. I'd like to know when I last played this game actually, because I think it was quite a while.
All right.
I actually
Fair
probably
enough.
played it and hung out in it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're getting stick in the chat room, Carl.
What am I getting
What are you
stick
reading?
for?
Hello, Yobi. How's it? So I'm sure I played another game. I can't remember. What.
As we all wait in anticipation.
I know it's exciting, isn't it? All right, give me a second. I'm just loading my Xbox app because there's a game I played. Oh, no, it was GTA 4.
Oh, I saw you playing that, but we actually presumed it was Ruby playing on your account.
So she played it on her account, and I went, you're playing GTA 4. That's interesting. I haven't played that game for ages. 2015 was the last time I played that game.
Wow.
Wow.
Pretty good
Yeah, I
game.
thought I'd played that game way more than that, but no, 2015.
Now,
And I
here's a
jumped into.
question.
Yes.
Are you doing the True Achievement Challenge Jake jump?
Not really, no. I was going to do it with the game that I hate.
Because if you were doing it and you got an achievement in a game that you started 5 years ago, you would get 6 points just for one achievement.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Whereas
wouldn't be too
normally
hard, I think.
achievements- Yeah.
I think
whereas normally
I was
achievements are
looking.
one.
Sorry, I was looking and I noticed there was actually a few achievements which I could probably pick up quite easily.
Mm.
No, shoot 10
Yep.
rats, that sort of stuff.
I think the challenge is nearly over. It might be at the
Yeah,
end
it's
of
this
the
month, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. It's kind of, the graphics are terrible. But,
Yeah.
it's a pretty old game. But the gameplay is actually fine. Like, it's the driving's a bit dodgy and the shooting is easy because it's auto aim. But the actual game kind of is quite interesting. It's interesting video it's showing on the stream now. Anyway, this is the first mission, and I was I've done 36 missions or something in this game,
36 missions.
Wow.
and I'm not finished. It's still going. I think there's like 60 missions or something to do. It
It
just goes on and on. This game.
Well, that's what Rockstar do, don't they? They make these massive games with lots of stuff to do, and you just get so bored halfway through. You're like, I just don't care anymore.
Well, so I had a mission, pick up a mission. I had to go into see. I went on the internet. Went into a cyber cafe and went on the internet, and then I got an interview at a lawyer's for the next day, and it was like midday, and I had to wait until midday the next day. So I was like, "What can I do?" So I went and hung out with my girlfriend, played pool with my girlfriend.
Nice.
I was like, "What else are you supposed to do in this game? Like, I can go and just run around people and run people over, or annoy the cops, or go and hang out with my girlfriend." And it worked out really well because I hung out with her. They went to bed and woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then drove across town to my meeting. It was like a normal day. It was just kind of.
That's
really
great.
weird. Other than the fact I shot the guy who was interviewing me and then had to run away from the police, that was a slight difference to my normal day. But other than
That's
that,
amazing.
pretty much a normal day.
Did you remember that you had a girlfriend?
Yes, Michelle.
Nice. I'm impressed.
It's hilarious. I couldn't remember because I remembered I had it, and I was going through it because you have a phone. You have a
Yeah.
little phone, and you go through. I was going through, and I picked the first girl's name, and I was like, no. I rang it, went straight to answer phone. I thought it can't be her, so I went through to the next game, and it was Michelle. I was like, oh, maybe it's this one. So I rang it and went, do you want to catch up? She's like, yep. So we went and took her to pool. She likes playing pool.
That's so cool.
It's really
That's
funny.
hilarious.
That is
Yeah, no,
funny.
it's a hilarious game. And I noticed I played about 45 minutes worth of pool in this game. I played
That's fantastic.
Exactly, yeah. I'm like, wow, and it's really, I've discovered yesterday that you don't actually need to aim. It aims for you. I didn't know this when I played it previously. And all you
Ah.
do is you just do the right power and it pops the ball for you.
Huh, okay.
Because I was aiming and moving the ball around and doing all this. And then I was like, wait a minute. I just went into, and it went in. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually easier than I was making it. So,
Fantastic.
but
Is
she's
there
really good
multiplayer?
though.
Oh,
No, it's
right.
not multiplayer. No.
Okay, so you
But
can
if you
play
make a
with
mistake,
regular-
she wins. You make a mistake, she wins. Like she cleans up. She's very good.
Man, okay.
Amazing.
Yep. So that's hilarious. Yeah. So that's what I did. I played for like an hour or so. Yeah. And of that was doing the one mission. I completed the mission and I played pool for a bit. It's amazing. It's very chilled out. It's very chilled out. And I think I've got enough money and stuff to I've got decent guns. So this shooting this guy wasn't that bad. I was wearing body armor and I could shoot the guy, run away, jump in another car, run away from the police.
It was like a normal day until you're like, but my guns aren't so bad, and I just went and shot the guy, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's all right. And ran away. It's
Nice.
cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's
So
a
do you
good
know
break
what-
from the norm.
Yeah, do you know what's going on
Yeah.
in the story?
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah. It's a good story. So Nico running around, the Russian guy. And I feel
Are you
sorry for him.
Russian?
I'm the Russian guy, yeah, or whatever he is, like Eastern European or something.
Oh, yeah.
I feel sorry for him because he's kind of come there to be good, and immediately meets his cousin who's really dodgy, and then his dodgy cousin does something really bad, and that kind of drags you into this whole underworld of, yeah. So he's a nightmare, the cousin, and he kind of gets attacked, and then you have to defend him, and then you annoy all the crime bosses, and it just kind of escalates.
It's always the cousin.
It is always a cousin, yeah.
Such dodgy cousins.
Dodgy cousins, yes. It is a cool game. It's well done. It is very well put together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I do want
What
to get
other-
stuck on one mission ages
What
ago.
other GTA games have you played? Just number 4?
I played the original. I played the top-down one.
Yeah, the
Okay,
top down ones are great.
Yeah, 1 and 2 probably I played.
Yeah.
I
GTA 1
played
and
quite a
2
lot
are
of
great.
San Andreas. I played quite a lot of that as well.
Vice City was amazing.
Vice City, which was one where you can go like buy properties and have a garage and stuff like that. Or there's one where you can buy properties.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't Vice City, because I think Vice City was the first one with the 3D view and the living world and all sorts of things.
Okay, yeah, so it must have been San Andreas that had the
Yeah. Because Vice
Yeah.
City is number 3, I think.
cabin. Oh, that's interesting. This is number 4, so I don't know.
Hmm.
Interesting. Who knows?
Who
I
knows
remember
indeed.
getting a garage and thinking it was quite cool because you got money coming from the garage. I thought that was quite awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Man.
But you can see the graphics. So this video is 4K supposedly.
Supposedly, says Lee.
Supposedly.
Yeah. So does it do auto HDR and stuff on the Series X?
I don't know. I didn't check really. I should probably check now. I'll load it up and have a check.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does to it. Oh, GTA 4 was the worst GTA, says Yobi. Never hates it. Wow, she hates it a lot. He hates it a lot.
Yeah, he does. Oh, amazing.
Wow.
So,
Right.
last round of games. Do you want to kick us off, Simone, or do you want to keep your exciting game for last?
I've still got 2 games actually.
Oh, 2 games. Okay.
Oh, you
I've
need
only
to go
got
next.
one. Yeah.
So I finished the story of Bioshock finally.
Oh,
Oh,
Now, I would love to listen to the director's commentary on this game. It's part of the game. You pick up the audio bits for the commentary to watch afterwards, because I heard that the director didn't really want an end boss fight.
Hmm.
But I think the developers or whoever was in charge said, no, you gotta end with a boss fight.
Hmm.
So yeah, and the boss was relatively easy. It only took me 2 goes. And I don't know, Kyle felt like it took ages. But no,
Well-
it's pretty relatively easy.
I've just found a video. It's 7.5 hours. The walkthrough on YouTube.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Very nice.
Bioshock Remastered. Full game walkthrough. 7 hours 40.
Jeez. Okay. Pretty efficient.
Yeah, just sat there and played the whole game right through.
So,
Imagine
what is
doing
the? Oh, well, I suppose this game's been out for ages, so there's no spoilers really. But the last boss, who is he? Is that a trick question?
Well, no, it has just been remastered, and it is the first time I've played it, so I'm not gonna give away who he is. What else is there to say apart from.
Well, I want to ask a question. Were you
Yep.
were you expecting the ending? Was it surprising, or was it kind of obvious what they were going to do? Or
There are two specific parts of the game where something happens and you think, okay, that's wow. Including, I mean, your character's entire origin story. But it took me so long to get to the final boss fight that I knew what I was doing and nothing was interesting anymore. So it was a bit of a slog. And there was nothing particularly interesting story-wise about the boss fight, or leading up to it. So no, I think the biggest wow moments come earlier on in the game, which I think is a shame, because as soon as you get the last one, you think to yourself, why am I continuing? It's all done. It's all done.
No more mystery, effectively.
Yeah.
Which is a pity.
So yes, not a lot to say about it. I didn't really enjoy it. I know a lot of people say that the first and second ones are their favorite. That's fine. I think it was probably really, really good and unique for its time. But
definitely.
That's very interesting. So I was in a Discord. Someone was saying that Infinite is the worst one of the lot, and Bioshock 1's the best.
I know, but that's an unpopular opinion. I think you'll find most people will say Infinite was the best.
Oh, you do? Okay. No, this was a whole room seemed to agree that Bioshock was the best one, and Infinite was poo.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Obviously, when someone has an unpopular opinion and all they need is some friends to agree with them.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was that. But it is an uncommon opinion if you talk to.
The first one's quite slow compared to this Infinite. I found it quite slow paced to it.
It is, and
I think that's why I've not gone back to it, because it was quite slow. I know it's going to be a bit of a slog to get through.
The first one's kind of like, it's supposed to be not thrillery, but kind of psychological horror in a way. So it is supposed to be slow.
It is creepy as well.
It is creepy.
Well, I think one of the main things about Bioshock compared to Bioshock Infinite is in Infinite you get to meet the characters that you're talking to, whereas in Bioshock you just hear them over the speaker or radio that you've got there.
Interesting.
You never meet them, except for the one or two boss fights you've got.
That's interesting, because there's lots of cutscenes in Infinite, isn't there? Cutting back to talking to Samantha,
Yes.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth, yes.
You're right. There's no cutscenes in Bioshock that I can remember.
That's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
What were the graphics like? Because it's remaster you're playing, wasn't it?
Yeah, they were okay. I think if I was able to look out, because obviously it's an entire world underwater, if I was able to look out windows and see what was out there a whole lot easier, I might have enjoyed it more, the visuals. But you can't really. It's very murky. It's not really made to look out the windows. And the rest of the game is very dark. Like
it
visually.
feels claustrophobic almost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, and wet. And so actually it wasn't nice to play. It wasn't comfortable to play ever. So yeah, I mean,
maybe it's on purpose. So maybe that was the point of the game.
Oh yeah, I think they've done a good job
to get the atmosphere.
and I'm sure, this would have been people's favorite game for a long time. I want to say until Infinite came out. Yeah,
I remember when it came out, and I was listening to I can't remember, it was a gaming podcast. At the time, there wasn't that many gaming podcasts kicking around, and they just raved about this game, especially the beginning. They like the way you start in the water and you kind of swim up and you go to the lighthouse and all that. Yeah. And they just raved about that, the whole thing.
it's very good. I think Bioshock Infinite starts the same way. You're in a boat.
Yeah, you're in a boat in Infinite and you go to a lighthouse, and then instead of the lighthouse going down, it shoots you up.
That's right, yeah. And then it finishes at the lighthouse, doesn't it, as well, the whole game?
I think so, yeah.
I seem to remember the lighthouse in Infinite, I seem to remember going back there. Yeah.
I think so too.
Interesting.
Man.
I do mean to go back to it, but I just kind of reluctant, because I remember it was just a slog. It wasn't kind of like, this is awesome like Infinite.
Infinite definitely feels a lot airier and a lot more fast. The combat's a lot more fluid. Whereas Bioshock is Bioshock's just very slow and methodical, I think.
But then if this guy's completed in 7.5 hours, maybe I just need to go back and suck it up for 5 hours and finish it.
Yeah, exactly.
Play on the easiest level as well.
That's right. Yeah, just do story mode.
Yeah.
Education mode.
Education
Yes.
edition Bioshock. This is why we don't live underwater, people.
That's right. Exactly.
There's
Yes.
sometimes there's often water leaking in a lot of the areas, and I'm thinking the amount of time it took me to get through this game, I should be drowned. This place should be flooded completely.
Lots of good pumps.
Oh, is that what it is? A good sump pump.
Yeah.
Everything's broken.
Yeah. But I mean, if you think about it, you have arrived on like the night that everything's gone down.
Really.
Is that right? I don't remember the starting of it or why you started there.
So, as far as I remember, is that there was the New Year's party where he gave the powers to everyone, and the powers just broke the world, caused everyone to go crazy and mad and kill each other. And you arrive, I think it's a couple hours after that's happened.
Okay. Wow. Well, I started this 2 years ago.
Yeah, so fair enough.
I think I started this for my Back to Your Backlog too.
Wow.
Well,
Well,
and then
good,
forgot about it.
good job on finishing it.
Thank you. Just in time for Back to Your Backlog 3.0. Is this our third one?
I think this is our third one, yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Good on me.
Man,
Good on you. Well done.
Yeah.
Nice one, bro.
good job.
I want to see when I last played this game. It's bugging me now. I feel like it's been many years.
Way too many years.
While Lee does that, Kyle, how is Gears Tactics?
Amazing, but frustrating, but so good. And all those words. So last week I fired my heavy that killed Jack.
That's right, I remember.
Now,
Yes.
yeah, no, he's now fending for himself without any armor or guns. Good. That's what you get. You killed my Jack bot. He must learn. He made a mistake. He must learn. And now I'm on to this next mission, which is where you have to cross a bridge. It's Act 1, Chapter 4. I think I've done 2 side missions at the moment. You're having to cross a bridge and you're just fighting across a bridge. How hard can it be to fight across a bridge when one of your guys is a sniper who can sit up top and just take out people from really far away when she manages to hit them, of course.
There's a choke point.
Her aim is off. Then, yeah. And I've been on this mission. I've had to restart it now. How many? Almost 10 times, I think. It is. So I've gotten the first opening bit where you get the first enemies. I've gotten that down pat. You know, you move here, you boost that, you do this, you shoot this guy, this happens. Now we move on to the next phase. And the next phase goes okay. And then it's the third phase of this bridge that always trips me up. The Locust snipers have this ability where if they sight you, they put a laser on your dude, and your dude can just hang out there and just live, and he's all good. But as soon as he moves, they get like an instant headshot. I don't know about you guys, but surviving a headshot is not easy.
It's hard, isn't it? It's going to be hard.
Yeah. Especially when you're playing on a hard difficulty where these guys just look at you wrong and, you know, your armor breaks. So I'll get to this third point and there's a sniper who for some reason is always sighting Sid. My dude with the cool moustache and the eye patch, and he's the gruff guy. I'm Sid. Look at him go with his big muscles. And for some reason, they always sight Sid. And no matter what I do, I can't get Sid past this point.
Have you thought about not taking Sid?
You have to. Sid is one of these people that you have to do. So he has to come along. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong, that Sid is always just in the way where he can get sighted. But it's really hard. But it's rewarding. It's great. It's great fun to play through and just know that what you're doing is awesome and it's Gears.
It's Gears.
It's Gears. It's so good. One of the reviews on the store is quite funny because it says, this is not Gears, this is a turn-based game. Gears is not turn-based. And I'm like, did you even look at it before you downloaded it?
It's called, it has the word tactics in the name.
but it's really good. So, in a way to show the support for the devs, and hopefully we get some more of these type of games, different genres in an established game universe.
Mm.
I went and bought Gears Tactics for the Microsoft sale. It's only $20. So it's well worth buying. You get the base game, you get all the jacked stuff, everything that basically comes on Game Pass, you get. So it's really worth supporting them for. And I definitely think, man, it's a good game. Frustrating as anything. I think I can do one mission a day because that
Yeah.
mission takes me about 2 hours.
Yeah, I can say how long does it take? Yeah, a couple hours. Okay.
And you're constantly restarting, and then you get to a point and you go, crap, and you go to the menu and you restart mission, and then you play through again, stop, restart mission, stop, restart mission.
Do you have to catch it before it saves? Because it'll kill your save us. Or do you find you just make a mistake and go, oh, okay, I'll go start again?
When you've made a mistake, it looks as if there's certain characters in your party that if they die, they're the trigger for the Iron Man mode to kill you and disable your save. Because I've had Sid Redburn, who's a hero, I've had him killed multiple times in many different ways on this stupid bridge, and it always offers to restart the mission.
Do you think Sid's not supposed to make it past this?
No, because as soon as he dies, it comes up with it, you lose, like the whole Dead
Okay.
Souls, you lose, game over. Do you want to restart the mission?
You haven't accidentally changed modes, have you?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. You also mentioned when I asked you, I watched Sid die and you restarted the mission. And I remember saying, I didn't know you could do that. And you said, yeah, if you catch it quick enough, it doesn't register that he dies.
Yeah, so I thought it was having to be quick, but it seems like one character in your party will be the trigger point.
Okay. It's probably a good idea to look up who that character is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's only chapter 4 of Act 1. I think when I get into like Act 2, after I've done the big boss for Act 1, maybe then I'll start being a bit more careful about who dies and who I sacrifice.
How many acts are there?
I don't know. I haven't looked up anything about this game. From what I've seen, you should be able to finish this game in about 24 hours.
Yeah, on normal mode though, not on die mode.
So that makes a couple of assumptions, right? Like, first of all, you're good at the game.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're actually playing this game like on a proper mode that's for humans and not for sentient computer AI beings.
I imagine that Paul would be able to do this in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Because he does stuff like this. This is his jam.
This is his genre. This is his thing that he does.
Yeah.
So I think
he replays missions on purpose because he wants to do it in a certain different way, not to get past the mission. He's like, I completed the mission. Didn't really like how I completed it. I think I might just do it all over again.
Yeah, I'm just going to restart it
insane.
just so I can, do it better. So I can get I can go from a 98% rating to a 99% rating. I'm just happy I finished the mission.
And I know, you're through and no one died.
Yeah, no one died. I get a new hat. Maybe I get some new boots, and everyone's happy. Well, it's Gears. No one's happy, but it's great.
That's right.
And that's my background this week is from Gears Tactics. It's an awesome environment to be on because the world has just been nuked. So everything is still burning. Everything's still on fire. Like the bridge I'm on has a ship that has crashed into it. It feels very much like you're still in the war. Whereas with Gears 1, when you pick up with Marcus, you're sort of like the war's been going on a while. Everyone's kind of wary of the war. This one is there's still that hope that they can prevent, the rest of the destruction of Sarah. So it's quite nice. Gears Tactics has a certain amount of hope in it with the characters, which I quite like.
You mean that it was running and trying to stay alive?
Yeah, and they're not just trying to survive. There's hope that they might actually win this. Whereas when you play Gears 1, 2, 3, they're not just trying to win this. They're just trying to survive, There's that whole mentality of every character is just kind of beaten down a bit more. So really cool. Really good game, good tactics game. If you want to waste a good couple hours playing a mission, play it on hard.
If you hate yourself.
It's been great fun though. Like just think of those puzzles, You know, when you do a really hard puzzle and you figure out a big piece of that puzzle, how proud of yourself do you feel? You're like, that's amazing.
Pretty proud.
There we go. That's why I'm doing it.
Yep. Not because you hate yourself.
Yeah, well, and because I'm feeling good when I actually complete a mission. It's like, oh man, the weight, the relief. I can almost see how people can play Dark Souls, but not quite, not yet.
I keep nearly playing it.
So you start it up and you go, oh, I would, but Minecraft.
My brain. Yeah. So, do you know what I played instead, though?
Yes.
I played Farming Simulator 19.
How awesome is this game?
So funny. It's honestly, it's not that good. It's over the top kind of I don't know, was it over the top hard? It's over the top kind of boring almost.
Boring.
It's boring. So initially I was like, I'll go in the tutorial. You watched me go into the tutorial.
Yep, we watched the tutorial. That was amazing.
I was like, okay, so how hard can this be? So this says, right, go to Combine Harvester. Drive Combine Harvester. You're like, yeah, okay, this is good. You go, oh, hire a person to drive it for you. Sweet. Okay, so person drives it. Then it says go to tractor. So I go to the tractor. And then that's the last information I got from the help people. So I continued on regardless and did stuff, just making it up and going, well, this doesn't feel right. So I literally played that whole period. It was like 2 hours. I actually started the game again. Because I was like, I've missed something here. And I went back to the beginning again and then went, right, I'm going to follow a guide and see what you actually have to do at the beginning because I feel like this is all completely wrong. Because I went and brought a dog and I brought some chickens and I was driving around and then I was trying to do deliveries and I had to go and buy a forklift and I was like, this is just kind of getting really complicated all of a sudden. Who buys forklifts? Do I need to buy a forklift? Does every farm have a forklift?
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
the question I was thinking.
you got to wonder why a farm would have a forklift.
Exactly. But how do you transport a forklift around?
Lift.
Exactly. Ooh, I just heard myself.
Yeah, we heard ourselves again.
Okay. Okay, right, I'm starting again. So I started again quietly without anyone watching me this time.
Without the pressure of Twitch.
The people in the background kind of yapping at me. So I went, okay, so I did the combine harvester bit and I was like, that's fine. And then I went to the first tractor. If you actually watch the video, I went to this tractor here and I got into the tractor. And what it doesn't tell you to do is pick up the weight on the front of the tractor. You know that black thing I was driving over?
Yes, the thing that we thought was the battery.
Yes, you look at this tractor in the very front. There's a weight on the front of it, and you pick one of the. On the front, you pick that up, and then on the back, you pick up whatever it is you want, trailer-wise.
Oh yes,
because it obviously levels you out, so you don't
that
fall
makes
over.
sense.
I was like, but if you watch the video of this guy, he does the combine harvester, does the red tractor, and then he does the same as me. He just goes, there's nothing right. And then you fast forward the video of him messing around for a bit and then picking up the weight. And all of a sudden the tutorial kicked in again. It went drive to this point.
That's amazing.
Okay. So then drove to this point and got my hire guy. He then did I think they were doing this bit, which is kind of making the dirt ready to be used.
Yes, so plowing.
Plowing.
Is what we call it in the industry.
No, they call it cultivating actually, darling.
Oh, seriously? Huh.
Yeah, cultivating. I had a cultivator on the back of my tractor.
A cultivator.
Yeah, it's a cultivator. I picked up a plow as well because I was kind of curious to see what the difference would be. I don't know. I think the cultivator is better, if I was being honest, from what I could see from my usage of it. So then the next one is to plant some seeds, which is also, you must pick up the weight first and then pick up the back bit and then hire a guy to do that. I was like, okay, I'm getting this now. This is good. So I then kind of was growing stuff. What did I do then? Then I needed some fertilizer, and I was like, "This is awesome!" So I went and bought myself a big tractor, kind of. It's called a side loader or something, so you can actually pick up pallets on a tractor type thing. So you buy extension rather than a forklift, which does one job. This does multiple jobs. It's very exciting. This is. I spent 8.5 hours in this game in the end.
8.5 hours. That's amazing.
8.5 hours in this game. Yes.
Just farming. How's your farm looking? Why is there no screenshots of your farm?
There's a picture behind me.
You need to share them to us so we can put them on Twitter because that's
They're
amazing.
in the capture box. They're in the capture box. You can put them in there. There's a really cool one. If you look now, if you cut in the capture folder, there's a really cool one at the night. And I had 2 tractors working on the same piece of land. And the headlights were kind of I worked until like midnight. I didn't work. I actually got the tractor to work till like midnight one time. And then I discovered weeds. Weeds are really bad. I don't like weeds.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just crazy. So you kind of do like it's a contracts on the it's another thing's contracts. So you go and get a contract, and you can actually hire the gear for the contract. So what you do is you go contract, please, hire gear, drive to wherever it is, and then you get a hire person to do the work for you. So you kind of pay and get the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one of them, the guy literally worked from about I think it's like a day and a half mowing this field, which is the biggest field in the whole world. I think it was literally like he just kept going and going and going, and literally a day and a half of just tractor driving up and down this field.
That's amazing.
It's just insane, yeah. I did manage to get some crops from wheat and actually sold my wheat and got some money for it, which is nice.
Oh, well, good on you.
Yes, I got some wheat money a couple of times because I grew stuff.
How long does it take for stuff to grow?
It takes about a day. Because
Oh,
I only went to bed once and then worked through the night and the next time. Because it's stupid though, because I went to bed at like, say, I was like, 8 o'clock is probably a good time. It was getting dark on the first night. So I went, well, I'll just do 8 hours. They'll get me up at 5. So surely I can, it's too dark at 5 o'clock in the morning. So you can't do anything. I was like, oh, this is crap. So I thought I'd go back to sleep over a couple of hours, go back to sleep and then get up at 7 when it's actually light. It says you're not tired. I was like, well, I can't see anything though. So I can't do any work. So I had to kill 2 hours waiting for the light to go up and then I can actually do things. It's just there's little things like that. You kind of going, you could just like have more light or make it easier to turn the lights on the tractors because that was quite confusing as well. That wasn't the easiest.
Oh, that's amazing.
There was so much Googling going on at the time to work out how to do stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
I brought a
can
flat
imagine.
bag tractor because I brought some fertilizer and I then spent ages. I brought this stupid tractor which picks up pallets. It was too light though. So if I picked up a pallet, the whole thing just flipped over. I was like, stupid thing. I just spent like 30 grand on this stupid tractor and it's too bloody heavy to do anything with it. So I ended up making I could actually do it if I drove in a really weird angle and really slowly. I could then slowly put the pallet on the back of the tractor.
Oh, this sounds like the best game ever.
It's just stupid. Yes. And then when I worked that out, I was like, okay, so then I got 2 pallets. I brought 2 kind of fertilizer and weed killer, put them on the back of my flatbed, and then I had to drive very slowly because everything kept falling off nearly. This is not working. This is nice. And then the third time I brought it, I actually drove this really slow forklift thing from the shop to the farm because I couldn't be bothered to drive it. Yeah.
Sounds so good.
It's just insane. And I didn't know in the first time I played for you can actually press left on the on the D-pad. You press left or right, you jump between the different vehicles.
Oh,
So I
okay.
would drive to the vehicle, get out, walk to the vehicle, get into it, then drive to the next vehicle to kind of do things. And I was like, this is insane. This is driving me nuts. There's so much walking to do in this game. This doesn't feel right. And then I discovered the D-pad. I went, oh, right, okay, so you can actually just jump from vehicle to vehicle.
Oh, that's too good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Stupid game. I swear, it's just nuts.
Oh, it sounds fantastic.
Can you see this guy in this video faffing around? This is what I was doing lots of faffing around, trying to work out how to get things.
Oh, just faffing around.
Lots of faffing around. I did buy a car one time and put something on the back of the car. This was on my first run, and then I drove around the corner really quickly. The car just flipped over. I was like, okay, so you have to be quite careful going around corners because there's not really any. It's not Forza, basically.
No, it's not Forza in
Not
any way.
Forza. I thought that quite a lot, actually. This is not Forza when I was driving around with my tractor doing 25Ks.
Brilliant. That's amazing. So, do you recommend this game?
I think I can see why people like it because it's that sort of management and you can kind of buy animals and you get the achievement's actually really easy. It's like buy some cows and then have 20 cow babies or something. Like that's the achievement. I think, well, that's probably quite easy to do. It's just nuts. It's nuts. You can buy chickens, you can buy pigs, you can buy sheep, you can buy cows. You can change the shape of your land. I just, yeah. I was kind of running out of money as well, which wasn't very good. I started with 100k and then brought lots of stuff and I had so many regrets every time I brought something. I was like, oh, I didn't need to buy that. Okay. Well, that's another couple grand disappeared because I just
Amazing.
brought the wrong fertilizer. Trying to use a weed eater, that was really difficult.
Can you
Weed
get a
is not
metal
very-
detector?
You can buy a thing to clean your tractors. Would that be interesting? I don't know. I saw it for sale. I did notice my tractor that drove for like a day and a half doing that field was getting dirtier and dirtier.
Hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's just nuts. And there's nothing happening on it. You see like 4 cars which just seem to drive around after each other the whole way around. Like you don't actually get anywhere. You can see here, there's no one here. There's just like the whole world to yourself.
That's amazing. So basically, it is like a farmer's dream.
Yeah, if you like to drive tractors and plant seeds and then weed seeds and then fertilize seeds and then make sure that the weeding's gone okay. And then do some contracts like plow someone's field for them.
Well, I mean, it sounds like, a real farm. It's called Farming
Yes.
Simulator.
It is literally simulating a farm, yes. Reversing with a tractor on the back is quite hard as well. Like reversing with traders on the back is quite difficult.
Yeah, just like real life.
Just like real life, yeah. I think it's harder because the camera angle's weird when you're reversing, so it kind of spins you around as you're reversing. So it just completely froze you as you're kind of trying to do stuff.
Oh, how annoying.
Yeah. It was just nuts. It was just insane.
Do you think that the 2022 Farming Simulator is going to like improve on this?
Multiplayer, dude. Remember it said multiplayer? Imagine.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Oh, the new farming pass.
And I took ages. I couldn't work out how to get fertilizer and then fill it in my tractor or my fertilizer thingy, sprayer thing. Didn't know how to do it. I had to Google how to fill it.
Brilliant.
And at one point it said you have to do it where you buy it. And I spent all this time buying a flatbed truck, buying a pallet truck, moving the pallet to my farm, read the instructions. First thing it says is fill it at the shop. I was like, I spent like 30 grand on this stupid pallet truck and then brought a flatbed for like 10 grand. So I had 40 grand and it just said just do it at the shop is easier. It's like, oh, right. Okay, cool. Awesome.
That's great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was nuts.
Oh, that's amazing.
But by the second day, I'd actually got it working and was doing weeding and kind of was like, okay, I'm actually getting on top of this now. But the pain, the first 60k or 70k I spent was basically wasted. And the top tip is don't buy stuff, just hire it initially because you can't afford to buy it. I was like, oh, okay, so hire stuff is the way to go. So then you use it and just give it back and they charge you like $1,000. You go, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can consider just starting again.
I know, but you kind of get to a point where you've spent so much time learning, you're like, I'm just going to keep going. But there's 3 different modes as well. There's like the mode I was in, which is the starter mode. And there's like you've ran your farm before mode, and then some sort of, I don't know what mode, maybe creative mode or something. I don't know. Who knows? So I could do that, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, it's hard work.
Sounds like an adventure.
Yes. It's an adventure and wasting time. That's what it is. Because you can do stuff, once you've worked out how to do it, you're like, oh, I could have done this so much easier. If I just realized that I didn't need to do all this stuff I did for the last hour.
Oh, that's
this 8 hours. Only 2 days has passed in 8 hours.
Brilliant. I love it.
Yes.
You going to go back to it? Is this going to be like a relaxing Saturday afternoon game?
Yeah, possibly. And now I know what I'm doing. I'm really tempted to start again and put it into the other mode, though, just out of curiosity.
What other mode is there?
I don't know. I can't remember now. But there's like starting mode and some other mode. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, expert. Beginner and expert.
Like running a farm before. I know what I'm doing vaguely, so I understand that you have to buy a weeder or hire a weeder, actually. And then do fertilizing and then actually drive your truck near the fertilizer and then press, I think it's like left button to fill up the fertilizer, which didn't explain itself to me at all. The information, the actual tour is rubbish. Like it doesn't explain anything to you.
It's so good.
It's not.
They're like, well, you're clearly playing a farming sim, so you're just going to have to farm.
Yes. But it doesn't really explain itself very well. Like I was complaining at the time it didn't explain itself. Even after it completed I did all the thing and it went like, now you've completed the tour, help will appear at some points to help you. I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay. So I started doing things. I haven't seen any help whatsoever when playing this game.
So we're just busy watching this guy in his combine harvester. And
Yes.
he's busy dropping all the wheat behind him.
No, he's not.
What is that?
No, he's dropping all the leftover bits. So all the wheat actually goes in the combine harvester. It has a pipe that sticks out that you hand over your truck and it drops it all.
Ah, okay.
I learned this. Actually, you see there's a big pipe on the left-hand side of the truck.
Yeah, I see that. I thought he was busy throwing away all his wheat.
Because that's all the stalks and stuff.
Okay, so they just scrape that into the ground.
I'm an expert, bro. I know
That's
exactly what's going
amazing.
on. The fact I can answer that is really sad, I think. I went into my house. It looks like I've just moved into my house, which is disappointing.
Well, I mean, priorities. You got to get
I
your
know.
farm in order first.
It looks like some single guy's just literally gone and chucked his stuff on the floor and then gone out and done farming. That's kind of.
That's dedication.
It's like there's a surfboard on the wall, and there's a guitar on the floor, and there's kind of half-eaten food, and then that's kind of, you know.
Are you near any water?
There's a pool, there's a babbling brook type thing near your.
But like nothing to sort of surf on. Basically.
No, you're in middle America, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
you're
no.
in So the fact that he has a surfboard means that this guy's pretty eager.
Yes, or mad. Yeah.
Sounds-
So this,
that's
if you
a
watch
good
this
one.
video now, you see this field at the top here. This is the really big field, and then I've got quite a cool picture of me doing mowing and what was I doing? I think I was like plowing it or cultivating it and actually planting a seed at the same time. But the problem was the seed planter was faster than the cultivator,
Oh, man.
so I had to keep
Amazing.
pausing the seed guy because he was a bit too quick.
Too
So good.
All
efficient.
on. Hey,
Too efficient.
too efficient. It was too quick. He was doing 25Ks, other guy was doing 23Ks, and that little bit of speed difference, I thought, that won't make much difference. And it made a huge difference. It was a real pain.
Oh, that's too good. Amazing.
Amazing. Yeah,
So Lee the farmer. I love it.
that's right. Yes, I should
Yeah.
be chewing straw.
Yeah, where's your Stetson? Where's your cowboy hat?
Yes. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. I've got a dog though, which is nice.
Oh, that is good. Can you
Oh,
pet
that-
him?
Yes, you can. You can pet him. You can feed him.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I too. You see this guy's parked his stuff. I too park my stuff in the shed because you know. What are you
I
supposed to do?
do park my stuff in the shed.
And this actually, what you see on this map here, it tells you levels of what the fields are. Like if they've got weeds or they've got just been ploughed, if they've just been whatever.
yeah.
Oh, you can see. So you can see you buy him a new workshop. He's buying another workshop shed thing. So you can buy things where you can fix your own tractors and have to go and take them to be fixed.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yep. I don't know what
Amazing.
he's doing.
Looks fantastic.
Amazing. Yes, that's the word.
That is the word. Oh, brilliant.
This is really difficult. This thing here on the Xbox is really hard as well.
I can
Trying
imagine.
to do this, it just doesn't really work. And every time I did it, it kept plonking back at the shop, so I had to navigate from the shop back to the farm to do anything. Even though I went to the shop at the farm, it would go, "Oh no, you obviously want to go to the shop." I'm like, I don't want to buy a dog thing and put it at the shop, do I? Obviously, I feel like I'm just ranting now. I think I should just stop ranting.
Yeah, it sounds like this game has a few issues that maybe you should be questioned about for the next version.
Yes. Well, we're not 20. Well, I'm what 3 behind, aren't I? Or 2 behind. Or 22's out soon.
Yeah, 22 is out soon. You think it's going to come to Game Pass?
I don't know. I don't know. I just this game. Oh, it's gone.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, it's funny. He's driving his tractor again.
Brilliant. And back to Simone for the last game of the night.
Yeah, so Kyle and Leah both had a chance to rant. I'm not going to be the third person.
What?
Okay, have you heard of the game called Ancestors?
I don't think so.
It's
I
an
don't think-
indie game.
Oh, indie game, one of those games.
You play as a chimp.
Okay. Chimp
And-
or chump.
Chimp, like chimpanzee.
Okay, Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
Correct. Its foundation is evolution. So the
Ah,
whole
okay.
premise is you evolving into a more human-like animal.
Okay. That could be pretty cool.
What you start off, yeah.
Sounds
You
quite
start
deep.
off as a chimp and you've got a bit of a clan, and then you kind of start learning things. You sometimes you walk up to a tree and you pick a branch off and you press X to inspect, and then all of a sudden you've learned that you can eat it, and so you shove it in your mouth.
That's amazing.
So I've done that. I've found a few leaves I can eat. I think I found an acorn, which was strange because you can't really eat them straight off the bat.
Oh,
But
no.
what-
Well, not hamster, squirrels do.
squirrels, yeah, but they got special teeth, you know.
Ah, okay.
Special.
Squirrel, squirrel teeth.
It's odd. I think it could be very good. It could be very addictive. The skill tree could be interesting. The controls let it down a little bit. I haven't worked out how much fall damage you can take because I'm not very good at jumping onto trees.
So what made you play this game?
I really like games involving evolution. So Spore, for example, love Spore. There's a you know what I'm talking about, Lee? Spore?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Oh,
the
cool.
creator, the creature creator thing was awesome on that.
Yeah. Your face
That's
just
basically the
made
game, wasn't it?
nothing. So
I know. I'm just watching. I'm watching the video actually. I'm trying to know what's going on.
yeah. As time goes on, you learn communication skills. You learn how to build things. And I think I've only played an hour or so. And I think as time goes on, you learn to use tools. You learn, I think you start to benefit more from spending time walking on 2 legs rather than 4 legs. Just learned how to make a bed, which didn't really, this is what's interesting. Learning how to make a bed, it didn't really tell me how to do it. It just said that you can pick up things and you can press a button called alter. So what's really weird is, although I'm playing a chimp, which is supposedly to be one of our ancestors, I am learning with my character. So as soon as he learns how to make a bed, all of a sudden I know how to make a bed now. And it's not like there's no recipe book on how to do things. So I have to try and remember how to make a bed and that kind of thing.
Okay, so you mean you have to go and get the right correct materials and press buttons in the right manner to make the bed?
Exactly. And one of the things is once I'd grabbed my palm leaf type things, like I said, you have these materials, you can put them together, and then you push the button called alter. And the animation is your chimp just hitting stuff together, like for the bed anyway. It just kind of hit its hand on it a couple times, and I'm thinking, is this doing anything? I don't know. And then all of a sudden it was kind of a bed.
That's amazing.
And so I'm thinking, okay, cool. So the monkey is experimenting, but at the same time, myself as a human is also experimenting and trying and figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
Man,
so yeah,
that's awesome.
These guys have put a lot of effort into this game. I think the developers are they love what they've made, and I think I want to say they're Polish. I saw an interview of
French.
them. French?
Yeah, somehow thought they were French.
Somewhere in the Europe. Methinks Poland is in Europe, right?
Yeah, Poland's in Europe.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Just.
Yes, just.
The skill tree,
just on the edge. Yeah.
The skill tree is not based on level. You don't have levels, but you do learn things. So if you spend, I still have a lot to learn, but I think if you spend time doing bonding-like activities, you branch out and learn more bonding type options. But I don't think you can do that just by doing the same bonding activity many, many times, like in Sims.
Oh, yep.
You have to, it seems like you have to experiment and try new things before you get these branches open up to you. One of the branches is mobility. So I think that has to do with, I started off only being able to use my right hand for things.
Oh, okay.
And as I did more with my right hand, one of the evolution branches opened up, and I was now able, I had learned to use my left hand and my right hand at the same time, which meant that I could pick up a rock in this hand and a stick in this hand, and I could bang them together, you know? And I think that's going to mean that in the future I can make tools and other things, bang rocks together, make something sharp.
Music.
It's like the first tool you want to make, just music.
It does seem though that the apes don't have a very long lifespan. So my current tutorial quest is to find a hidden waterfall, and I don't know where to look. And my guy's already, like, he's middle-aged. My poor guy. So he's got to get it on to help the clan survive. The other amusing thing.
Does it pass down to the kids though? Do you train other people or what?
Yes, it doesn't seem. It's not a learning thing. Oh, sorry, it's not a learning thing. It's apparently a genetic thing. So if you reach a certain level of mobility, you pass that down to your baby. So it's very sped up evolution. One of the babies in the clan has a mutated evolutionary trait, which allows them to digest more types of food than the parents. So the idea is, it's when they're babies, it's a vague mutation, and it's only when they reach adulthood do you find out what the exact mutation is. So he's still a baby. Yeah. So I guess I'll find out. It's a lot I don't know and don't understand, which is like me, the ape. There's a lot I don't know and I don't understand.
That's good.
One day I hope to catch a fish.
Brilliant. You enjoying it?
It's addictive. I think, when did I start it? On Saturday? Friday, maybe. And I haven't stopped thinking about it.
That's awesome.
But it's so new. I mean, there's something special about starting a brand new game. I think there's so much unknown. It's hard. And I only had an hour in it. So I just wanted to go back and learn more and try and suss out the game. Once I've sussed it out, though, I might get bored, but we'll see. Sorry.
It depends how quickly it moves on, doesn't it? Evolves as you're going.
Yes, it does. Now, there's something interesting. Early on, there's sensors. You can go into this mode where you listen or you smell. And I heard a monkey in a tree. So I climbed the tree and there was a monkey choking on fruit. And I'm thinking, that's weird. Like, I went up to him and why is that funny?
You never think of monkeys choking, right? You just think that they should know how to eat.
Well, Kyle, my love, you nearly choked on your food tonight.
Yeah, well, that's me. I choke on everything.
Yeah, so he's in a tree, he's choking, and I'm thinking, and I walk up to him and there's nothing I can click. There's nothing I can do with him. And I think to myself, as a chimp doesn't know the Heimlich maneuver. He's just going to look at his buddy choking and think, what do I do? And the answer is, well, nothing, because you know nothing. And so I like to think that as time goes on, as my chimps evolve, they learn how to save each other from choking on food. What is so funny?
The poor chimp is like, my buddy's choking. I don't know what I'm trying to do. You just kind of stand there going,
pat him on the head and I say, I hope you're going to be okay. Anyway, long story short, I came back. He wasn't okay. He's dead now. So yeah, he died. There's a chimp up there. Now I have a feeling, because I'm getting a feel of the game, I think if I were to go up and visit his corpse, I may learn something about anatomy. But we'll see. It's a very precarious tree, and I find it very hard to get home from that tree. It's a very long way down, is all I'm saying. And the ledge is very far away. So I don't know. Lee, do you find it funny?
No, not really. Not like him, no.
That's hilarious. I just keep thinking about the poor monkey just going, what is my friend doing? And the guy's like, I can't even tell you I'm joking because we're too stupid.
Exactly. Exactly.
So good.
The last thing I'll say is you can partner up with other chimps in the clan, and you bond by grooming them, which I think is quite neat.
Yep, that's normal as well, isn't it? That's how they do it.
I think so. However, they've all got very normal names, 3 or 4 letters long, and I'm getting really confused as to who's who and who's my mate and who's not my mate. Because you can swap between monkeys depending on, I guess, what you want to do and maybe what traits they have. So that'll be interesting. I think I've got 2 girlfriends.
Nice.
2 girlfriends and a baby, and I don't know where the baby came from.
You found the baby. I'm just watching the site. You find the baby at the beginning, don't you?
Yes, that's the very first achievement. The mother gets grabbed by a bird, a massive
Yeah.
bird.
Oh, is that the opening video then? Oh, I see. So that's the baby.
And you play as the baby in the first instance. So you learn how to sense sounds and noises, and the mission is to find a hiding place. You find a hiding place. Once you've found a hiding place, you swap to an adult chimp.
Right.
And then
Oh, I see. Then you adult chimp goes and finds a baby.
Chimp, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a neat
It is
little
on Game
tutorial.
Pass, is it? Is it on Game Pass?
No, I bought it. Bought it in the sale
Oh, okay.
just recently. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And for those achievement hunters out there, there's not a lot of achievements. I think there's 12, maybe 20 in total.
That's not too bad at all.
Takes about 40 hours to complete.
Whoa.
Based on the fact that you've got a clan and you could swap between monkeys, I don't think it's permadeath. If your monkey dies, you probably just swap to another one in your clan.
Mhm.
Don't know, maybe all your monkeys can die and then you lose. The name of my clan the name of my lineage is called Prime.
As a primate. Yep.
Thank you. So yeah, we'll see. It's interesting though. You in the starting game, you can choose what species you want to start as, and I just picked random. But I've only ever seen pictures of chimps, so I don't know what other monkeys you can be. Maybe you unlock them later.
Oh, an orangutan. Maybe you start off as an orangutan. Or a
Oh,
spider
that
monkey.
would be cool. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
neat. So yeah, probably play a lot more this week, and then let you know how it progresses. But I like the idea that I am as clueless as my character is about how life works.
Oh, that's amazing.
I just keep shoving random leaves in my face, and I hope they're not poisonous.
Well, when an ape is hungry, he will eat whatever there is to eat.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's how your friend met his untimely demise.
Oh, too hungry?
Yeah,
Yes.
eating too quickly.
Oh, yeah, too quickly. Yeah. Maybe he's
Yeah.
allergic.
Look at how far we've come. We know things.
Could be.
Brilliant. It's
That's all our
interesting. It's
games.
an interesting game.
Is that all
It's
our
completely
games?
different to what I've been playing.
Yeah, completely. I mean, Lee's been farming. Simone's been evolving. Been
I
amazing.
actually don't know what I'm doing as well, though. So that is quite similar.
Oh yes, you're an evolutionary farmer.
Yes, that's right.
Brilliant. Carl's an evolutionary tactician.
Yeah, learning. Brilliant.
Poor Sid.
All right. So I think that's everything we've been playing this week. Don't forget about August, guys. We've got Back to Your Backlog 2 for August.
August?
It's coming up next weekend. Well, this weekend, actually.
Do you know what you're playing yet?
Oh, I do now.
So I was wondering, and no one answered me on Twitter. I said, any game you bought this month, surely that's not in your backlog because you just bought it this month.
Well, I don't know.
And that includes any game from Game Pass that came out this month as well. And it was all very silent. No one agreed with me or disagreed. I thought that's interesting.
Well, I mean,
Does that mess with people's plans for this month? Or
well, okay. So let's go over what we think should happen quickly. Let's have a quick meeting about this live.
okay, we'll have a production meeting.
So August is supposed to be starting a game that's in your backlog that you have not played before, right?
Correct.
We all agree on this. What counts as a backlog? Do we want to dive into that? So a backlog.
Well, so what actually Diabolic Jester brought up the point that I was not allowed to play Mass Effect because I only just purchased it.
No, because that was the game that was a game that you had to have started and that you stopped
Well, I was going to
playing.
buy it and then start it and then stop playing it. Even though I stopped playing it for like 10 minutes, it was still stopped playing it.
Yeah, no, see, I don't think that counts.
Okay, all right. I'm just checking, that's all, because, you know,
Yeah.
I
So
feel
this
like
is
I was
about-
banned from playing Mass Effect, so I feel like I just need to make sure this is the rules.
Man, it sounds like we do just gang up on Lee, hey? And say, no, Lee, but the rules.
No, the rules are not for you, they're for everyone else.
Pretty much. So the whole idea is to play a game that's in your backlog that you have not started. And beforehand, it was always been a game that you had to have bought, you had to have spent money on. And this year, we're opening it up to Game Pass games because we realize that my word, Game Pass has far too many games that we all want to start, and we all go, "Oh, that game's on Game Pass. I just want to start it." This is the opportunity. This is the time when you can start it. You can go, "This is a good chance for me to dive into that game I've always wanted to play," because theoretically, it's been on your mental backlog, right?
Ah, okay.
So
Interesting.
if you go out tomorrow and buy Mass Effect, Lee, it's been on your mental backlog, and
I've
so I
already
think
got
it
Mass
totally
Effect.
counts.
That's not an issue. I have Mass Effect. Like I did buy it.
So you bought the Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
When did
I
this
did buy
happen?
it anyway. I bought it.
Like how you're just very quiet about buying it anyway.
Yeah, no, I bought it anyway because I was going to buy it because I was like, I'm excited to play this. And then
Cool.
I started playing number 1, Mass Effect 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
But then I was not allowed to play it after that, so I had to stop. I was banned because of the
Yeah.
rules. The rules.
well, this
Well,
month
now
you're,
you get to start.
no, I don't know, because you
I
started.
know I've
it
already
early.
started it, so I can. I've already started it.
Wait, sorry. When did you start it?
I bought it like when it came out, like within the week of it coming out, I decided to get it.
So
Yeah.
what are you playing next month?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You've only
I've
got a
got
few days left to
I know.
decide.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I've got such a long list of games I want to play. I was actually going to just save a cent and play that and do a Kyle.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of counts as being in a backlog, I suppose.
And when you get in Scarlet Nexus,
Oh, it's downloaded already.
so Ascent is downloaded already.
Yeah, same. So next month's going to be so hard. There's going to be like 6 different games that we're all going to be playing.
That's all I want to play is Ascent, though, to be honest. But then
That
I've got
looks
like
so
AC Origins, AC Syndicate. I haven't played either of those games as well.
Man, but if you start them in August, they're gonna take longer than August to finish.
Yep.
It's true, but I actually purchased those games a while back and haven't started them, which is actually the rules, Carl.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, Scarlet Nexus was purchased a while back. It just got sent to me today.
Uh-huh.
You liar.
Oh, the rules are here just to
Okay.
gang up on Lee.
Okay, we've had a really long episode, but I do have one question that I
Yes.
want Carl to answer for realsies.
Mhm.
For realsies.
This October for what do we call it? Terratober.
Terratober, yep.
We're all gonna play Witcher 3.
I think we should.
Yes, I
Yeah?
think
I
that's
think it'd be awesome. Yeah, I really want to finish that game. I've just not had the time because of other games and life.
well, yeah. October is Witcher 3 month.
Cool.
It's currently on sale. You have no excuse for not getting it.
Oh,
And that's the Game of
I
the
didn't
Year
know that.
edition.
Oh, cool.
It's
And
like, what, $6 again, I guess? It'd be cheap,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
$6 for the Game of the Year edition. And by October, we should hopefully have the next gen patch
Yes.
for the
It'll
Series
be
X.
pretty.
Very
and good.
pretty.
If the next gen patch isn't out by October, we'll reevaluate.
Yeah, we'll reevaluate close to the time. But Terratober is now officially Witcher month for this year because everyone is playing it. And if you're not playing it, you're going to get some serious FOMO.
That's
I
right.
think for future Terratobers, I'm also going to just continue with Witcher 3.
Yeah, 'cause it'll take-
It
It'll
has
take
the word
hundreds of
witch.
hours. Yeah.
Yep. It has the word witch in it, so.
Yeah, it's got the word witch. It's you fight creatures and you have powers. It sort of counts in a way.
Oh, one of the first missions is fighting against a witch as well. Who's like an evil witch.
Oh yeah,
She's
Sounds
in
good.
a
a
we've got a
thing
whale. In a whale.
in a well.
Yep.
The witch in the well.
Yes.
Sounds like a Japanese movie.
Does.
It does indeed.
So yes, August. Let's get back to August because that's coming up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yep.
So
I'll be playing Control.
Simone's playing Control. Lee is still undecided,
Who knows? I'll play something.
and Carl is either going to be playing Mass Effect Catalyst or Scarlet Nexus.
What happened to Parkour Girl?
That is Parkour Girl, Mirror's Edge.
Oh.
Catalyst.
Okay.
It's
I thought
called
it was
Catalyst, yeah.
Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
You said Mass Effect.
Oh, sorry. Mirror's Edge.
That's okay. That's why I was so confused.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst is
Gotcha.
what but it's between that and Scarlet Nexus. But I did just get Scarlet Nexus today, thanks to Simone buying me a sneaky gift. So
Yes.
I'm waiting for mine still. I know it's stuck in the post. It's fine. It's okay.
It's got a ship and COVID.
That's right, and COVID. Yep.
Uh,
I'm going
Well-
to go through my games though. Oh, seriously, I'm going to go through my games and just actually have a proper look through.
Go through, get a bunch of screenshots, put them on Twitter, because then people can just reply with what they want you to play, and then you can go from there.
How much? So I just go on my Xbox and take pictures of my Xbox, I guess, of my. Where can you find the games you purchased and you haven't played? Is there a way of doing this, or do I have to manually make a list?
I don't know.
I
It's
have a
confusing.
website
Oh, you have a website?
that, well, it doesn't do it for you.
Oh. I thought you had a website that did stuff for me. I was all
No.
excited then.
No, I keep my manual list on a website.
Oh God, sounds a bit manual.
There's manual.
Uh,
Manual as.
I see, like I've got about 250 games I actually own on the Xbox, so I could just go through and kind of suss out which ones I've played.
Yes.
Yep. nice
Yeah,
and
plus
easy.
Game Pass on top of that as well.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck.
I know. There's like 600 games I've probably got to choose from, so that's awesome.
Yes.
Because I buy little games sometimes as well, and they kind of sit there, little 1,000 pointers that I buy randomly as well.
Well, I mean, you could just think about it. You could do 1,000-pointer game, spend a Saturday doing that game,
Do that and then play
and
a
then
set.
dive into the Ascent and be like, I did my challenge.
Yeah.
This game was in my backlog.
I know I have games like that, definitely. I've got like Red Robin, whatever it was called. That's a little game, like an hour
Oh.
game.
Cool.
Ones that you played on your. I bought a load when you were doing the achievement challenge, which I didn't play. I just give up.
Awesome. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, eh?
Exactly, yes. Would DLC class, because I've just got Dirt 5 reinstalled again to play the DLC that came out. Would that class is going back to game?
I say definitely. One of the
Ooh, okay.
one of the DLC I was considering starting was Lego Forza.
Oh, yeah,
got it.
that's a huge amount of hours as well.
Yeah, and I just haven't started it yet.
It's quite cool. It's a bit long.
Mhm.
Like some of the Forza stuff's done really well. Like, what's it called? The Storm Mountain's good because it's actually quite short. It's like a
Oh,
10-hour, 12-hour sort of thing. But Lego, I think, is like 30 hours. It's ridiculous.
Oof.
There's so much to do. And I haven't completed it yet because you have to get, say, 600 pieces of Lego and I've got 400. And I'm down to driving down the road at a certain speed and getting at this point in 10 seconds and doing a U-turn. Some stupid kind of because it's all challenges. You get Lego for challenges.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So there's all these different challenges where you drive from one place to another in 30 seconds and stuff like that. And
Brilliant.
yes, we should
Yeah.
call it. We've been going for 2 hours nearly.
Yes.
Mhm.
So thank you guys for listening to Game Face. Remember, if you like this episode, rate us on your podcast platform of choice. Tell your friends, your family, the dog, the cat, whoever will listen, really. Share the podcast because that's pretty much how we get new listeners, how we get more people involved in what we're doing. And the more people who start new games in August, the happier we are. Not that we get any money for it. It just makes us happy that people starting games that they might potentially love.
Might
It's all good.
potentially love.
Well, I
Right.
mean, you start a new game that you think you might like, and then it's just disappointing. Or you start a new game that you think, oh, this sounds cool, and then suddenly it's just the best game ever.
Ascent.
Yeah, we're all hanging out for the Ascent.
2 days.
It's coming soon. So, Mr. Lee, where can they find you?
I am on Twitter and Xbox as Lee Howard.
And Simone,
I am Jim Bean NZ
where?
everywhere. I don't know.
Whether it matters.
My Twitter is not Xbox Cast related, so I'm Jim Bean NZ on Xbox.
Cool. And you can find me at Zarkras on Xbox. That's pretty much it, isn't it? Follow us on Twitter to get into all the cool things. Follow us on Patreon so that you can access all the cool things. Thank you guys for
If I
listening.
wasn't sick, we're going to do an AMA soon, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going
I
to
was
maybe
sick
do the
boy this
AMA
Saturday.
this weekend.
Yeah, I
But
couldn't
we'll see how
talk.
we go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you guys for listening. Goodbye and good night.